Good evening and a warm welcome to Art Special. This discussion will focus on spirituality, religion and a whole new version that, well, I'm new to. Let's discuss about this. We have with us in our studios Nazir Al Gohar, President of the Messiah Foundation International. Good evening and a warm welcome. I'm pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
You're just from the UK. Tell me what brings you to Sri Lanka.
Well, you know, this message of global peace and harmony, it takes us to all corners of the... And we've been in Sri Lanka for about a week doing the same thing.
And how long would you be here?
About another 4 days.
Right,
4
okay.
days, yeah.
So have you been able to achieve what you arrived in Sri Lanka for?
Yes.
I mean, your objectives here?
Yes, definitely.
Great.
Overwhelming.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'd like to ask you now, you say you're from the Messiah Foundation International. What is the Messiah Foundation International? Let us know what your work is all about.
It's an organization, an international organization based upon bringing the divine teachings, the spiritual teachings of His Divine Eminence, Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi, to the entire universe, you know, to the entire world. And basically, the word itself, Messiah Foundation International, the word Messiah, it's directly related with the word Messiah.
Okay.
And what we want to, you know, explain to the world is, you know, there's a divine personality, you know, an awaited personality, the concept of the awaited one. So the Messiah is a word derived from, you know, the word Messiah, and it, you know, directly correlates with the Christian and Jewish faith.
All right.
In regards to, you know, the Messiah coming in the end times. In Islam, that they say that the Imam Mahdi will come in the end times. In Hinduism, they say that Kalki Avatar will come in the end times. And this faith, you know, it stretches into Buddhism, Sikhism. So, you know, this concept of the awaited one, and you know, it being so similar with every single religion, that in itself cannot be a coincidence, can it? You know, you have the awaited Imam Mahdi, the awaited Messiah, the awaited Kalki Avatar, and all faiths believe in this awaited personality, regardless of where you come from the world, right? So this in itself tells you that there is one God, you know, and all the religions have been sent from and by one God. All religions are true. There's no need to fight, you know, among each other.
Who is the one God that you believe in?
There is only one God, regardless of how you name Him. He can be, you know, the Muslims will call Him Allah, and the Hindus will call Him Om, Christians will call Him God, you know, someone will call Him Ekunkar.
So basically you have no faith or religion that you follow, or I mean, no particular faith that you follow, is that it?
We don't want to label ourselves. Okay, the teachings of His Divine Eminence Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi are very broad, extremely broad, and they give you a bird's eye view of you know, what the world is, what the universe is like, and how you should be seeing or viewing, you know, how God would be looking at humanity per se.
So if we talk a little about the doctrine of the Messiah, Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi, has Messiah brought any religion or book? What is this all about?
Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi has brought a book called The Religion of God, which could be downloaded or, you know, obtained from www.thereligionofgod.com. And in this book, he has explained the origin of man. How did man come to be? How did God create the man? And how did we then, you know, evolve, you know, as human beings? How did we diversify in so many religions, and what the truth of our religion and our faith should be and is? And you know, if somebody wants to find out what the hidden secrets of God are in regards to, you know, our own selves, they should definitely read it.
And you talk about inner peace.
Yes.
Tell us how you would guide followers of attaining inner peace.
Now, you know, people of all faiths, we have mosques, we have churches, we have temples, and people are going into these worship places every single day. You know, we go there and we ask, we pray to God every single day, and we hope that God would hear us. And how many people can actually stand up and say that, you know, we went to the church, we went to the mosque, and we prayed and it happened? Not many can say that. And the problem is we are no longer connected to God. You know, when the religions were brought down by the prophets, by those that brought them down, they were in their truest form. When those messengers were on earth, they connected people directly to God. It is why, you know, when they prayed, when they wanted to conversate with God, they could do so. However, now we have humans have, in the same way that we've evolved, we've changed religions, we've made amendments to the religion. For example, what's going on with ISIS, Taliban, in regards to Islam, it's nowhere near what Islam is. Islam is about peace. Christianity is about peace. But then we've had the Crusaders in Christianity. We've had extreme Hindus. These people aren't anything to do with what the religion is about. Every single religion, the core of every single religion is the love of God, which is what we've forgotten today. We go to the mosque, we go to the churches because we're fearful of the hellfire, and we want to do it for the heaven. How many people go to the churches, to the mosques, or to the temples, or regardless of whatever your worship place is, truly just for the sake of God's love? Not many. In fact, I don't think anyone does that anymore. Nobody actually cares about loving God, about obtaining God. We want to go to the church, to the mosque, for our own benefit. That makes you selfish in a way, doesn't it?
So how do you all actually spread this message among followers, among people who actually are a part of your foundation? What is the process? Do people join your foundation, or is it some sort of an awareness campaign that you take on across the globe?
Basically, what we're doing is we're using every single avenue possible. Speeches, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, events, interviews like this, mass gatherings in every single country, any way of spreading this message. And we were speaking on the previous point, how to obtain inner peace. When we go to all these places, we're not connected to God. So His Divine Eminence Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi has introduced a method with which we can reconnect with God, rekindle the relationship we once had with God. How every single human being can have a personal relationship with God, and that is by Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi has granted a method with which our heart. It's the best method. We've created the church, the mosque, and the temple with our own hands, but God created the heart, and that's where we should bring God into. So what we do is there's a method by which you repeat the name of God. You're initiated, and your heart starts, with every single heartbeat, you repeat the name of God. So if you're a Muslim, you'd say Allahu. If you're a Hindu, you'd be given Ra Ram, and so forth. So basically what you're doing is with every single heartbeat, you're saying the name of God. It's a meditation. And with every single heartbeat, when the heartbeat correlates with the name of God, it's going to generate divine energy. So the more you do it, the more divine energy you'll be making. And I can go on about it all day, but it's about how you feel, and those who feel it, they can tell you how they actually feel. And this is why it's so successful, this mission, because people are changing.
Were you saying that Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi is the awaited one, is the awaited Messiah?
Yes.
How can you say that he is the awaited one?
Well, according to so many saints and holy scriptures ranging from all sorts of religions, you must have heard of Nostradamus. He's given a prophecy in which he speaks about the awaited Messiah being on the moon. And then there's prophecies from Islam, from different saints and imams, in which one imam said, Imam Jafar Sadiq said, that the face of Imam Mahdi will shine upon the moon. And there's many different Hindu beliefs in which divert their attention towards the moon as well. So I can't go into detail about it right now, but all these faiths are pointing to the moon, and they many times they address the moon to being the sign of the awaited Mahdi, awaited Messiah, awaited Kalki avatar. And when you'd probably be able to see on the TV at some point, you can see the image of His Divine Eminence Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi very clearly visible on the moon. Now some people ask, how do you know this is the image of Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi? This could be my grandfather, this could be my uncle or father. And there's only one thing to say about that. The image of his Lord, of His Divine Eminence Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi in the moon renders spiritual benevolence to those who ask for it. Whoever directs to the moon in order to receive divine help, and that's the best method of finding out whether this is the truth or not. And anybody who wants to receive this heart meditation, they can look to the moon and say the name of whichever name of God they want to receive 3 times with the heartbeat along with the moon, and they should physically, feel something. And when they do, many people physically see things, and we didn't tell them. We don't take anything, not 1p, not 1 rupee for our services. So when people then come out and say, we felt this, we saw this, and they devote themselves to this mission, it shows.
So there is no such time frame that the Messiah is seen or he appears?
No, I mean, His Divine Eminence Lord Arias Gohar Shahi disappeared in 2001. But various people from different parts of the world, different religions, have seen him since. They see him many times whilst talking to the moon. They physically speak to the moon, and they see the images of His Divine Eminence Lord Arias Gohar Shahi speaking back to them. And at times, some people, they say that we went to Mecca to do, the Hajj, and they saw him there. They physically spoke to him there. Some people speak to him in a temple in Nepal, some in India, some, so it's miraculous, these meetings. And so if somebody wants to see His Divine Eminence Lord Arias Gohar Shahi physically, there's no saying that he won't meet you.
So basically it is only if someone speaks to the moon and tries to connect with a god that this particular individual would have the blessings of the Messiah.
Yeah.
Is that what you say?
Yes.
Right. And if you would like to speak about the message that you want to give to the people in Sri Lanka, and what message you want to actually spread in Sri Lanka?
Well, in Sri Lanka we want to spread a message of peace. We want to tell the people of Sri Lanka to think about, to revere their own, being Sri Lankan first. Then they should be Muslim. Then they should be a Hindu or a Buddhist. They should be Sri Lankan first. They should be proud of who they are. And, people, we're in the end times. Some people ask, how can you say that this is the end times? If you look at the recent news, be it Yahoo, NASA, they're all saying that the end times are near. Sometimes they say 2012, sometimes they say, some other date. They give you various dates, but we're definitely in the end times. The divine scriptures, the divine signs in regards to the end times are happening, regardless of whether we believe it or not. Be it the spiritual signs or be it the physical signs, NASA is saying, and we can see that we're using up the world's resources. And then we've got reports of an asteroid coming towards Earth, which is, we've been told by His Divine Eminence Lord Arias Gohar Shahi that the asteroid would hit in 2026. So basically we just want to tell the Sri Lankan nation to divert your attention toward enlightening yourself. We make money. How much you ask any rich person how happy he is, regardless of whether we're living on the streets or we're living in a castle. We're not peaceful, and we need God to be at peace. So it's time to divert our attentions to obtaining God, to obtaining the divine energy of God, to be able to connect to God again. That's all.
How important is spirituality for you? I'd like to talk a little about your life and how you implement this total concept of the awaited one and a divine plan and the end of times. How do you actually implement this to your life? We'd like to hear a little about you.
Sure. I'm 23, very young, from England. For myself, this message has changed my life completely, and I don't understand. I can't comprehend where I would be without this message. It's given me a view of all these religions, of all of us human beings. From if this is the world, I can see it from here. I can see, due to these teachings, how we should be, how we should respect each other's, how we're all one. If I cut my wrist from here, it's going to be red blood. If I cut your wrist, it's going to be red blood. We're the same. Colors are different, but we're sent from the same God. These religions are different, but they're all ships towards one God. People have made these religions such a commotion out of these religions that we've forgotten what they're for. People have made the religion just about going up and down in prayer, about going to the temple or to the mosque. What the actual reason of a religion is to connect you to God, which is what we've forgotten, which is what we've parted from. So this this message of global peace, of how we can obtain global peace. If I didn't have this in my life, I don't think I'd be able to do this. I'd probably be, wasting my life somewhere.
So how long have you been, connected to this message, this concept?
Well, I grew up with this message thanks to my father.
I'd like to hear about him.
Yeah, His Highness Yunus Al Gohar, and he's he's appointed by His Divine Eminence Lord Raya Asghar Shahi directly, and to spread this mission throughout the universe. And due to his speeches, his message, his unique message, I've never heard anybody ask a question and him turn it down, or give an answer that was not satisfactory, regardless of how hard it would have been. So that's really appealing. When I see him do that, it's amazing, and I really learn a lot from what he speaks about. And just in the past 5 days, he's given interviews, newspaper interviews, and one other TV interview. And in the newspaper interviews, he's given, he spoke to people from different faiths: a Muslim journalist, a Christian journalist, and a Hindu journalist. And all three of them asked, questions that a normal answer would probably conflict against each other. But they're so universal; they don't ever conflict, and that just shows me how true this message is. It's amazing.
Right, so I think it's time we wrap up, but thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the very best in promoting global peace, unity, and of course your message across the world. Thank you. Thank you very much. We had with us Nazir Al Gohar, President of the Messiah Foundation International. We wish you a very good evening. Good night.